Welcome to the Unapologetic Mompreneur, the podcast for mums with an online business who are ready to take back their time, home, business, and self so they can restore the balance and thrive, both at home and at work, without feeling like they have to choose between the two. I'm your host, Sarah Dew, life and biz coach for mompreneurs. I'm also a mum, stepmom, wife, introvert, breast cancer survivor, and your mentor for making a change for the better. I've learned how to go from surviving to thriving and unapologetically create a business I love and the life I want for me and my family without worrying about what other people think. And now I'm here to help you do the same. Because being an unapologetic mompreneur doesn't mean that we're selfish or that we don't care about others. It simply means that we are not afraid to show up as our true, authentic selves, to step into our purpose, do what we know is right for ourselves and the ones we love, and take the steps we need to take to make our dream life and business a reality. Join me each week where I'll be sharing all of my best tips and strategies, plus the occasional dose of tough but gentle love to help you feel empowered, motivated, and confident to take action so that you can become the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. So, are you ready to unapologetically create a business and life you love? Let's do this. Hey there, and welcome to episode 118 of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. And most importantly, Happy New Year and welcome to 2026. I hope that you had a great Christmas, a fantastic New Year, and that you are feeling all motivated and fired up, ready to dive into this new year. And if you've been thinking about your goals and what to work on, this is the perfect episode for you today, because we are going to be diving into one question that we don't always think about, but is super important when it comes to setting our goals, is how to know when the goal is the right goal. Not just a goal we're setting because everybody else is doing it or because we think we should be doing it or it feels like a good idea to do it, but whether or not it is actually the right goal for us at this moment in time that is in alignment with where we want to be heading in our business. This was actually a question that one of my clients asked me during one of our Breakthrough Brew biz growth strategy sessions. And it was a really good question. And I just thought, yeah, this is something that we need to talk about more. And I thought it would make a great podcast episode. Because if she was wondering it, I'm pretty sure that you have wondered it at some point or another too. And as we are heading into this new year now, thinking about our goals, this is the perfect time to dive into this. Because we know what it's like in January. Everybody is talking about their goals, the things that you should be setting and doing and aiming for and working towards, the resolutions, the new you, new me, all of the things of what to set for our goals. And it can be super confusing to know what is the right goal for you. There's a lot of pressure out there telling us what we should be doing. And we can set goals at the time thinking that they're great, that yes, that is the thing that we should be working on. This is what I need to focus on right now. But if we don't stop to check in with ourselves and ask whether or not it's actually the right goal, that's what can cause things to fall to the wayside by March and maybe by the end of January. And often it's a lot of the reasons why a lot of goals and a lot of resolutions don't actually work. Or we can get further down the line working on them and they feel forced and out of alignment and hard work, and it's difficult for us to get the motivation. And it's because the goal is not the right goal for you at this moment in time. So, how do you know if it's the right goal that you should be setting? I have got a few questions that I am going to be sharing with you that you can work through. They are the questions that I also take my Breakthrough Brew growth strategy clients through as well when they are focusing on their goals and looking and figuring out whether the right goals for them, because it isn't just about setting smart goals. We all know about smart goals of smart, measurable, whether it's achievable, realistic, and setting a deadline to it. But there is so much more to it than that. We need to get under the hood, go beyond the surface level stuff, and actually dig into the real reasons why you are actually setting your goals. And when you ask yourself the questions that I'm going to be sharing with you in this episode, it's really going to help you let you know and figure out whether or not it is the right goal for you. And if you answer any of those to any of these, It's going to show you that the goal isn't aligned, but more importantly, it's going to give you the permission to let it go. Because quite often we take on goals thinking it's something we should be doing or it feels right at the time, and we go all in and then we find it's not working. But it's difficult to let go of them. And that's something that we don't talk about often is giving yourself permission to let goals go. And by putting things to the test before you even start working on them, on thinking about whether or not it is the right goal, can save you from all of that headache, frustration, and stress, and hours of work that might feel have wasted later down the line. So make sure you've got your notebook and pen. You are going to want to write these down. These actually work as really great journal prompts. And if you are into goal setting, like I am, then they work brilliant as having them as a checklist that every time you set a goal, alongside putting them to the SMART test, you can also ask these questions too. So first up is asking with, does it fit with where you are at right now and with your overall bigger vision? What is it that goal that you want to set? And does it actually fit with what you are working on right now and with your overall bigger vision? Is working on this goal getting you closer to where you want to be, of what your ideal definition of success is in your business, of the things that you want to achieve in your business? Is that going to get you where you want to be? Or is it something that is on your to-do list just because you feel like it's something you should be doing? If it doesn't fit with where you're at right now and your overall bigger vision, then it's a sure sign that it's something that you don't need to be working on and you can let it go. Next is to ask yourself, what will you gain from it? What will you achieve by completing this goal? Is it going to grow your business or raise your visibility, increase your income, help you take another step forward to that definition of success? What are you actually going to gain from it? What is going to be your return on investment on it? If it's going to increase your bottom line and increase your income, that's great. If it's going to get you more clients, fantastic. If it's going to help you sell more of your products, it's going to generate more income, fantastic. Ask yourself what you are going to gain from it. Because although goals can be a nice to have or a nice to do sometimes, if you are not gaining anything from it, then what is the point of doing it? Because working on a goal that is not going to give you anything in return is taking you away and your time and your energy from goals that are actually going to help you gain something from them. So, what will you gain from it? The next question is, how long has that goal been on your list and why? This is a really good one for testing whether or not the goal is something that actually means something to you or whether it is on your list just for the sake of it. If it is a goal that you have had that you really, really want to do and you keep bumping it to the bottom of your list, why is that? Is it about time or fear or feeling like you don't have enough resources or you don't know enough about it to be working on it? Or is it something that you keep bumping to the bottom of your list just because it's something you think you should be doing, but you don't really fancy doing it? If it's the latter, give yourself permission to scrub it from the list. If you have got it on your list and it's been on there for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and you are still bumping it from the list and you are not working on it, and it's because you just don't really want to and it doesn't feel like you and you don't really need to, but it's something you feel like you should be doing, get rid of it. Scrub it from the list, free up your mental space, and allow it to open up time for you to work on things that do light you up and that have a reason for being on your list. And if it is something that's been on your list for a while, but you keep bumping it and it's something that you want to do, it's time to dig into why you're not working on it. Maybe it is a fear. Where is that fear coming from and how can you work through it? Maybe it's because you don't know how to do it and it's something tech heavy related or it's something that you're not sure about and you need to learn more about it. Maybe it's an interim goal that you need to set instead is to go and get yourself more educated on it. And that doesn't mean that you can go and sign up for another course to get distracted and use that as a reason to procrastinate, but making that interim goal of where you're going to learn what you need to do so that you can then accomplish the goal that you really want to achieve can make the difference. A real good example for me was this podcast. I had my podcast and starting a podcast on my to-do list and my wish list and my goals list for 4 years before I actually bit the bullet and dove into it. And it wasn't because it was something that I thought I should be doing. It was something that I really, really wanted to do. but I was just too afraid to do it. I was worried about the imposter syndrome and what people would think, and if I was sharing was complete crap, and what was she talking about? All of those monkey voices in my head. And then also, tech totally freaked me out. I had no idea how to get started on working and getting set up and doing my own podcast. But I knew that it was something that I wanted to do. So when looking at whether it was a right goal to have, I asked myself how long it has been on my list and why. It was 4 years, but I wanted to do it. And I knew that if I took it off of my list and if it was something that I didn't do, I would regret it. And so I decided that it was time to do it. Yes, I was scared. Yes, I was worried about imposter syndrome and judgment from others. But I decided, look, I wanted to do this anyway. So let's just get on with it and get it done. And that interim goal was spending a few weeks getting myself acquainted with how to set up a podcast, what I needed to do. I went and got myself a little mini course. I figured it out. I dove into Spotify and I made it happen. So, how long has that goal been on your list and why? Next up is what is your motivation behind it? What is the purpose of doing it? This kind of fits alongside what will you gain from it, but what is the motivation behind it? And do you have the motivation to actually do it? Because on those days where we're not really feeling it, if you don't have that motivation and that why behind the goal, you're not going to make it happen. So, what is your motivation for doing it? Is accomplishing that goal going to give you more income that you can focus on other things? Is it going to free up your time so that you have more time to spend doing things with the ones you love? Is your motivation because it's something that you have always wanted to achieve, like having a podcast or having a book sitting on the shelves of Waterstones, or being out there speaking in the world and having a TED talk? Is it a motivation where it is a long goal dream that you have always had? That is going to fuel you. So, what is the purpose of you doing this goal? What is your motivation behind it? Next up is where does the intention lie? What is the intention behind the goal that you are thinking about setting and working on? Is it a want or is it a should? Especially this time of year, the very second that Christmas is done with and we're into January, you see everywhere on socials, the next thing everyone is talking about is the better you, better me, achieving this, achieving that, setting the resolutions. And it's super easy, especially if we're not really sure what goals we should be setting, to get sucked into that and pulled along with it. And then that can lead us to setting goals of things that we think that we should be doing, that would be a good idea, or that might help, or maybe that's what I need to be doing. But if the intention behind the goal is along those shoulds and those obligations and those needs and those musts, rather than it being intentional and in alignment with what you really want and in alignment with what your vision, your goals, and the overall definition of success is for you and your business, you're going to find it hard to follow through. And just like being something on your list and it's been on there for months, maybe even years, because it's something you think it should be, that you should be doing, if the intention behind it is something you think you should be doing, give yourself the permission to get it off of your list. If it's something that you need to do to grow your business, that's one thing. But if it's something that you should be doing, who's telling you that should? Is it coming from internal expectations you placed upon yourself? Is it coming from external expectations where people are telling you that's what you should be doing this time of year? This is what you should be doing in your business. Check in with that intention and see where it lies, because that will really help you figure out whether the goal you are setting is the right goal. And then finally, how do you feel about parking it for later or scrubbing it entirely? Just like asking yourself how long it's been on your list, this one is really good for testing the waters to see how you really feel about a goal, to call you out and to check in on you of like, do I really want this? Do I actually want to work on this one? Because if you are okay with parking it and knowing that you can come back to it later, then that's great because now might not be the time to work on it, but you know that it is something that you want to do. So you can park it for later and come back to it when you're ready. And that's okay. Scrubbing it entirely, if you thought that you didn't have to do it, that you didn't have to work on it, that you could let it go, makes you feel really free. It lightens the load, makes you feel good, and gets you excited about the possibilities of what else you could do. That is a sure sign that it is a goal that is not the right goal for you. That it is a goal that you can forget about, you can move on from, and you can let it go and free yourself from. On the other hand, if the thought of ditching that goal totally freaks you out and makes you feel sad, gives you regret or disappointment, or the worries of the what ifs and the sadness that you're not going to be following through on it, then guess what? That's a sign that it's a goal that you should and want to work on. That's a goal that is a goal that feels aligned for you. This final test of parking it or scrubbing it will really help you figure out whether or not it is the goal that is a right goal for you. And it's a lot like putting things to the unapologetic test, which is one of my favorite exercises to do and something that I always get my clients to do anytime they're working on anything new that comes their way or anything that is giving them a little bit of frustration in their business, is to put it to the unapologetic test. Because just because a coach, a mentor, or someone who is shouting loudly on Instagram tells you that you should be doing something, if it doesn't feel aligned, if it doesn't feel right for you, if it's not the right time, if it doesn't match your personality, your style, your energy, you don't have to do it. And it's the same for your goals. It's your business. You get to call the shots. So when it comes to thinking about scrubbing it, how do you feel about it? Because that will tell you whether it is the right goal for you. Some real thought-provoking questions, but they will really help you to get and dig deep underneath the surface to move past that SMART test and really get underneath and to the bottom of figuring out whether a goal is the right goal for you. As we are heading into January, as we are diving into this new year, you are thinking about your goals, and actually, in fact, any time of the year that you are reviewing and looking at your goals and checking in on whether the goals are still the right goals for you, use these questions to help you. Use them as your compass. Ask whether they fit with where you are at right now and your overall bigger vision. What will you gain from achieving this goal? How long has it been on your list and why? What is your motivation behind it? Are you motivated and what's the purpose? Where does the intention lie? Is it something you really want, or is it a goal that is a should? And then how do you feel about parking it or scrubbing it completely? Answering those questions are really going to help you tap deep and tap into the real reasons and the real wants as to why you're setting these goals so that you can identify whether they are the right goal for you. I hope that this has helped. If you've got any questions, come and send me a DM over on Instagram at the Unapologetic Mompreneur. This is the perfect time to go through this exercise as we head into the new year. I would love to know how it went for you. Please reach out. I am here for you. And if you want to dive deeper into this, if you want help digging into and working out and figuring out whether your goals are the right goals for you to be working on right now, that happens to be one of my zones of genius. It's something that I love. And as a goal success coach, I can walk you through that. And it makes perfect for a breakthrough brew session as well. In just 60 to 90 minutes, we can map all of your goals out. We can put them to all of these questions and tests. And I will help you figure out what are the right goals for you. And then help you come up with a plan for the coming weeks to actually dive in, take action, and make them happen. You'll find the link to find out more and book yourself a Breakthrough Brew session in the show notes. As always, you have got this. Here is to setting goals that are the right goals and making 2026 count. You have got this, and I cannot wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now. Thank you so much for joining me for another installment of the Unapologetic Mompreneur podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I would love for you to leave me a rating and a review so that other mompreneurs can find this podcast too. Here's to unapologetically becoming the mum, wife, biz owner, and woman you know you are meant and deserve to be. I can't wait to chat with you in the next episode. Bye for now.